Fieldbuster.
The lowest average rated films that we love. So to get these films, we've gone onto Letterboxd, which is our chosen rating website.
Our platform of choice.
Platform of choice. And we've put all our films into average ratings from low to high and found the first 9 or 10 star film that we have rated.
I didn't do it that way. I did it the other way.
I know, Adam did it a very long way.
He's done it a very long way.
I don't have a lot of 9s or 10s, so it's quicker for me just to go through my 9s and 10s. I know which ones are going to be highly rated. I know that film there, that's going to have a low rating. Let's just make a note of that, and then we move on. And I found the lowest one, and it was exactly the same as I did it the other way.
Once this episode is over, I'm going to inspect your letterbox to see if this is accurate.
Yes, it will be accurate.
I bet we could find it in about 30 seconds, where you probably took, it sounds like you took about 20 minutes.
I feel like I know your one, Paul, without even...
I think so. I think I know Paul's as well, but I'm going to let him say it.
Okay. The best way to do this, right, is...
The best way to do this is get on with talking about it and stop arguing about it, and let's just record.
Well, I was actually about to do that, wasn't I, Adam?
Yeah, but I'm now in charge because it's a patron service, so they come to here to listen to the boss.
Oh,
right.
Well,
sorry.
Okay. Sorry, take it away, Adam.
It's Paul's segment.
So the best way to do this is everyone has to say what their film is rated out loud, and I want to do it from the highest rated to the lowest rated.
Okay.
So my film is a 2.4.
So is mine.
Out of 5. Oh, okay.
Mine's a 2.9.
Oh, you definitely got lower rated.
I don't have. I actually thought this when I was looking through. I was like, all of my top films are just like good films. I don't. If you went into my 8th pile, there'd probably be loads, but 9s it wasn't.
That goes to show how mainstream you are, young Adam.
I know. I did feel like a very mainstream person when I was doing this.
So does that mean Adam goes first?
Yes, he goes first. Yes.
It's a film we did on the podcast.
Oh shit! Go on.
It's Goal.
Oh shit!
Okay.
So
what?
I gave Goal a 9. There is nothing else in there, Ben. I've been through it. Trust me.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. I was just wondering why that didn't come up as
you didn't get that far
as my one, but I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9 as well. I thought I've got a lower 9, so obviously, yeah. Well, yeah, we already talked about that, but that's harsh that it's voted so low.
So was I. There's many films I was going through, and I thought, whoa, that is low. But yeah, it made me a bit upset for it. I feel like it deserves more love than that. But we've been over this before, and it doesn't get enough love.
Well, it's quite specific. It's a specific kind of person who's going to watch that film. I would never watch it.
You need to love movies and love film, I think, because if you
football,
you need to love football and love film, because if you just liked football and you didn't really like film, you would think the film was too there.
Yeah.
And if you like film but didn't like football, like Paul, you would go, yeah, it's okay, but that's
it's still very harsh.
I'd say it's on the same kind of level as, like, on the outset, it's on the same kind of level as like a Step Up film. If someone's on, like,
I get that.
From the outside, it's just an easy watching. If you're into this kind of shit, you'll like it, kind of thing.
And then it gets Paul really angry.
Yeah.
Well, it actually gets you really angry. I was quite calm in that episode.
We're not going back into this because
it was a very spicy episode, that one.
It was a spicy one. It remained spicy on and offline. But I think that's very harsh. Anyway, 2.9, very harsh, but you know.
This is out of 5, by the way, everyone. 2.9
yes.
out of 5.
Yes.
But our ratings ourselves are out of 10, just to confuse everybody.
Yes, just to confuse people.
You just have to double it up, basically. So the 2.9 Letterboxd rating becomes 5.8.
Quick maths.
Well done, look at your maths there.
Yeah. So my 2.4 is a film that both of you boys have on your watch list and you haven't watched yet. I'm assuming you added it because I give it a 9 out of 10.
Maybe.
And it's a Jeff Goldblum film called Hideaway. And it's one of those films that I remember watching a hell of a lot when I was 13, 14. I had taped it off TV and I would replay it often. And it's just it's a very simple kind of like supernatural thriller. Jeff Goldblum and his daughter Alicia Silverstone are in a car crash and he dies for about 20 minutes and he's saved on the operating table. But when he's brought back, a killer, he has the soul of a killer inside him as well, and it resurrects the killer elsewhere, right?
Why couldn't they have done this with American Psycho 2?
Well, I know. And the killer is Jeremy Sisto, our man from 6 Feet Under and many other things, right? and he plays this killer so fucking well. So well, and Jeff Goldblum sees through the killer's eyes, and the killer sees through Jeff Goldblum's eyes. And Jeff Goldblum's acting is like top notch in it. It's everything you want from a Jeff Goldblum performance. Plus, the thriller angle of it is so compelling all the way through. It has like a really. It has a bit of a letdown ending because it goes from being this really good psychological thriller to real over the top supernatural / fantasy elements in the last 5 minutes. But it's really, really good. But what it's made me do, because I've always wanted to show Jenny this film, but because I've realised that this is the film that has the lowest average that I like so much, it's clearly one of those films that only I'm going to like because it reminds me of a particular moment in time.
Yeah.
100%.
If I watched it now without those memories, I don't think I would like it as much, but I'll watch it now with like rose-tinted glasses, as they say.
Yeah.
Just so I'm clear, is this a Freaky Friday kind of thing where they swap souls?
It's kind
or
of
is it
weird.
more like Upgrade?
So what happens is, so the killer, Jeremy, so from what I remember, the killer is dying at the same time, or has just died, right? And then somewhere else, Jeff Goldblum gets into this car crash. They're in the same hospital. Jeff Goldblum dies, and while he's in the death state, if you want to call it that, while he's in the afterlife, his soul encounters the soul of this killer. But then Jeff Goldblum's life is saved in the hospital. He comes back from death, but when he comes back, he brings this guy with him, and the guy has his own body. They're in their own bodies, but they can also see through the eyes of the other person. It's like me now suddenly being able to see.
Was this film made in the
through your eyes.
90s or the 80s?
It was made 1995.
Sounds like a very 90s film going on here.
It's very cool, and like when you see things like when you see the killer doing some killings, you see Jeff Goldblum doing those exact same killings too. It's funny seeing Jeff Goldblum as a badass. Even now, just talking about it makes me want to rewatch it because I want to watch it and see if I enjoy it as much. But even if I don't,
Do you
I
want
know I
me
wouldn't
to
hate
rewatch it? Because that's on my watch list. I'll rewatch it and see if I think it's good, and then if I don't, then
You rewatch it and see what you think of it. You give it a watch and see what you think of it.
You sold it well though. It does sound interesting, and it feels like if they do it right, it's got the potential to be a good film.
I think they did.
What is the genre?
It's horror psychological thriller, like horror thriller, I would say.
Okay, it sounded a bit comedy to me.
No, there's no comedy in it at all.
Okay.
The tagline is, he was brought back from the dead, but he didn't come back alone.
In my imagination, it sounded like they become friends eventually.
Well, I won't tell you what happens at the end. But so it's based on a book by Dean Koontz, and Dean Koontz is kind of like the poor man's Stephen King. He writes in the same sort of way that Stephen King does, but Dean Koontz is normally not as good, and there's always too much of a fantasy element in his for it to ever be considered really good.
Very harsh if the man is listening right now.
Welcome.
Good to have you here, Dean.
Oh,
Yeah, but he did other stuff that Dean Koontz, but it's always like fantasy stuff. But anyway, this works, and the reason it works is because for the most part it isn't like fantasy, but then at the end it does go a bit fantasy. Let's hear it, son. Your 2.4.
My film, I have an attachment to because I did watch it a lot as a kid, and I can totally see why people don't like it as well. But I mean, how can I not love it? It's Batman Forever.
Of course, it's Batman.
I thought it was going to be Batman versus Superman, but
I thought it was going to be Batman versus Superman. That is the
It's
film.
not as low. It's not as low as
Really?
Batman Forever. Yeah.
So what's Batman Forever's 2.4, and you give it a what? A 9?
I give it a 9. Yeah, I have great memory. This is the one I used to watch all the time. Like back when I was younger.
Is this the one with George Clooney in it?
No, this is the one that's got
Val
Two-Face
Kilmer.
and the Riddler, and Val
Okay.
Kilmer's Batman.
Yeah, that's not a bad. Yeah, that's a 2.4.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not get it twisted. It's not a fucking 9 out of 10 film.
I've given it a
It's
6.
a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. But when I was a kid, I wasn't as fond of Batman 89 as I was this. I think because it appealed to my kind of child, like the child in me at that time.
But you like Batman Forever so much because of the silliness, and we all know that you like a silly film, Paul.
Well, this is it. Batman Forever. It is in the right vein of what Batman, like campy kind of Batman, should be. Batman can be serious, and he can be really campy, like Adam West Batman, like the 60s kind of Batman. But this it's kind of in the right kind of vein of what Batman should be. It's like it's not too cheesy, and it's like fun, and it's a little ridiculous, and I love it for that. And I think Val Kilmer is a great Batman.
Is this the one with Jim Carrey in it?
Yes.
Okay.
That also helped as well, obviously.
I mean, yeah, he can lift to quite a lot of films,
Yeah.
like Sonic.
But I have a lot of love for it.
Are you ready,
Okay.
boys? We
Yep.
go alphabetically. Paul, Adam, Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
How's
And you-
alphabetically?
That's
And we're
not
playing. No. I mean, the game is alphabetically.
Okay.
We have to say things connected to, and Paul should have the advantage here, but we'll see. Connected to the Batman universe.
Okay.
Alphabetically beginning characters, and Paul begins with A, then Adam with B, and then me with C, and so on. But we only get 5 seconds each. to go.
Characters, you are fucking stretching yourself.
Start
Characters.
out. Paul. go.
Alfred.
Batman.
Croc.
Dick Grayson.
Extendo Man.
Come on now.
Is that
This
not
is
real?
not working, is it? No.
That sounds like it should be real.
Oh, well, he's out. Well, Adam's out. Then it's just me and you going. Okay. I'm out, mate. I've got
Freeze.
nothing for F either.
Mr. Freeze, whatever his name.
That was a great game.
Mr. Freeze is an M, but yeah, I should have said Freeze.
Yeah, you care about
Is
that.
Croc a character?
His name's Killer Croc, so you probably lost.
Well, I know, but I've got to try. That's good of me to just at least remember Croc, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh,
I mean, you could have just said anything.
yeah, I suppose.
Tales Master.